I'm so excited today. So it is day 2 of the masterclass series, Exponential Success. And today I have Kat Sauser, who is one of my clients who did really well in the cohort and graduated and has like had a total makeover and ascension in her business. And her story, like just her as a woman, honestly, is so powerful. And I want you guys to like hear about her story and her work, because she's just like really changing the game in the fitness industry, which really needed some changing. And then also just like how this work really like elevated her business and created sustainable income for her. And like, I mean, I want to hear from you, Kat, but it also feels like things like, you know, I always talk about how business and money is my way of kind of like giving women their inner queen. And you're someone who really got like, yes, amazing. Your business is flowing. The money is flowing. It's easy now, but also like you're happier. And that's so important to me because it's not just about making money. Like prosperity is what we want. And prosperity includes like just our whole well-being and how we feel and move in the world. So if you want to tell us like a little bit about you and just like what you do to start off, like that would be great. And also like what was going on before we found each other through a mutual friend, what was going on in your business?
Great. So hi, everyone. I'm Kat Sauser. I'm the founder of Sweat with Kat. I help women get their dream body without giving up everything they love. And I tell so many women, you can drink your water, take your vitamins, go to the gym, but if you're not taking care of your mind, your life is not going to change. And I tell so many women, even if you get your dream physique, and you're not taking care of your limiting beliefs and taking care of how you feel and how you show up in the world, nothing is going to change. And basically, from the beginning, long story short, before I got into the cohort, I was doing challenges, which was signing women up just nutrition and fitness. And my income would go up and then go down and go up and go down. And that gave me a ton of anxiety. And I felt like I was always chasing my clients down. I was always frustrated. I didn't know how to hire new employees. I just didn't know what to do. And I was stressed, confused, and I wanted to give up. So what do? Like invest in a coach, right? That was the choice I had to make.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I think it's important too, because this happened for a lot of people, that even in your world, you were affected by COVID, because another income source you had were retreats, right? In person.
Right. So
and
I own Jet and Flex, and that's a retreat business. I do retreats in Greece, Tulum, and in Bali. And I had to actually cancel 4 retreats this year. So I really had to put my energy into my fitness business to survive.
Yeah. And then kind of like when you came to me, you know, because I know you didn't really know what to expect, but Kat, who's a former client, who's also a mutual friend that we have, had obviously said good things. Thank you. I'm sorry, Callie, not Kat, you're Kat, Callie. And so you like, yes, you'd made money before, but it was up and down. And how did you feel like you were relating to, and I'll go back where I was going, but how did you feel like you were relating to your business?
I felt, before I got into the cohort, I also wasn't doing mentally well, like spiritually well at all. So I just didn't feel aligned to my business at all. I was stressed. I was confused. I also felt like for me, I am a WBFF pro fitness model. So I was doing bodybuilding competitions, and I was training my athletes and the people that sign up for my platform how I was, stepping on stage. But then I started to shift, getting more into the, feeling good and not obsessing over our training and things like that. So I felt I wanted to go more into the fitness, mind, body, spirit, and not just about the physical appearance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And on that topic, just totally unrelated to businesses, I think it serves most women. Like that is your background. But it also left you kind of miserable, right? Because it's like, I think a lot of us see these like dream bodies on Instagram and are like, oh my gosh, that's what I need. That's the ticket. And like, while you were competing and doing that, like, what was your actual experience? Because obviously you still look amazing today, but for someone who's used to being on stage, it's still like a different physique, even though for the normal person, it's like, I don't get it. Why isn't this perfect? You know?
Well, I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but it's just not realistic. And the amount of energy and time it takes to having that perfect physique is not only like unrealistic, it's very painful. And it's showing, I felt like if I was obsessive that way, it would tell my clients that they need to be obsessive to have their dream physique too. And it's a lot of competitive energy, right? So, you know, you're going on stage, you're comparing your body, like your body to someone else's on stage, and it's just not good for your mental health. I'm not saying that I'll never compete again or anything like that, but I'm saying that if as a coach, how I show up in my business and how I, you know, portray myself is a direct reflection on what my clients think they need to do to stay fit. And I was like, this is not aligned to me at this time, especially during COVID, especially during a time where women are already feeling isolated in scarcity mode. I was like, hell no, I am not aligned to this. My purpose is to show women that they do not have to do hours and hours at the gym, starve themselves to feel good. And that's when my whole business shifted and why I was attracted to you. I mean, you are spiritual. You stand side by side with women and you say, together we rise. And that's what I wanted. Like, I see this all the time. Like, women are such in scarcity mode when it comes to body and business. Like, just because you have a successful business does not mean I can't have one. And I wanted to,
yeah.
right. And I wanted to be with, I even asked Callie before signing up with you, I was like, does Jocelyn celebrate her clients? And that was a really big question I wanted to ask because before getting into the cohort with you, I still had a bit of a scarcity mindset, right? Like, this is years of programming. And I was like, Callie, does Jocelyn celebrate her clients? She's like, dude, she like will celebrate and get a cake in her own house for you. Like, she will, like, you know, and that's what I needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for me. I'm like, why is anybody a coach if they're not excited by their clients' wins? That's crazy. But I know that like sisterhood wounding is big. A lot of women have mother wounds on top of that. And so it can sort of, you know, feel scary trusting another woman with your business because you don't really know what it's going to be like. And then also coming into a sisterhood or a group container where we're like very open and vulnerable because like good luck building a business that's successful if you're not willing to be vulnerable so that we can like meet you where you're at and help you actually shift and rise, right? Because strategy is a piece of it and a big piece. And like, that's my background. I know that back and forth. And obviously it was so amazing that you like really took what I said for your business because it worked for you. But also, you know, that we do so much around like our wealth consciousness and our spirituality and energetically. And I know you and I talked a lot about codependence and how that comes out in business. And we don't want our trauma playing out in our business with our clients.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember when I first signed up how I was?
Yeah,
like I am
everyone else
mind blown. So as Jocelyn said, like my story is pretty wild. I mean, I come from serious alcohol abuse within my family, a codependency, no boundaries, abuse, all of it all. Okay. So all of this trauma that I had in codependency and these abandonment issues showed up in my business so much. If a client would leave me, I would actually feel sick. Like, it's called boundary sickness, where it's like, if someone leaves me or if I try to create a boundary, I feel sick because my childhood was there was no boundaries in my home. Like if I was like, I don't like this, like I was afraid to say I didn't like something, right? So that if you're not taking care of these belief systems and, you know, healing these old traumas, it transfers into your business, right? So I remember when I signed up with Jocelyn, I had this client who was leaving me and I was freaking out. And I'm like, Jocelyn, we worked through it. And now if a client leaves me, it's okay. It's okay. And like, I have to say this because for me, I was sick. Like I felt sick when someone left me. And now when someone leaves me, I'm just like, oh, more space for someone new. And if someone says no to me, it's like, it's okay, someone else is coming. And that is mind-blowing for me. Like even my clients are feeling the difference of how I show up, because when you're in this scarcity, don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave me, or I got you, I'll do whatever you need to stay, they feel that. They feel that so much. And they're like, oh, well, you know, she just needs me to make money and things like that. You can elaborate on that, but like they feel that.
So how did you feel like, because you're saying you feel like they felt that, or is that just a reflection? Or like, how are your clients reflecting back to you?
I mean, now my clients are like, who are you? Like, I like, I have the chills talking about this. Like my clients, because before I signed up, not only did Jocelyn and this community help me with my business and the business strategy, you guys help me how I show up on Instagram Live, using my voice, how I want to portray everything, right? And I wish I could do like a visual of it, but it just like floated into everything, every part of my business, because my confidence changed and how I show up and my boundaries and codependency and all these things. And my clients are like, want me more, if that makes sense. They're like,
totally. I mean, there is nothing more magnetic than a woman in her power. Everybody wants a piece. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, I want to do my confidence immersion, 11 people in 2 weeks.
I know.
And I was like, no one's going to sign up. And you're like, just wait. And this is a huge thing too for what shifted for me. So my self-worth and what I asked for, right? So I was, charging, $350 for challenges. And I was freaking out about this high ticket thing. I was like, no one's going to sign up for a $1,500, $2,000 course of mine. And Jocelyn's like, you just wait. And 2 weeks, I had 11 people sign up.
You signed people in one day.
Yes. And no one said no to me. I was like, what the hell is going on? And like everything shifted for me, because the women who were signed up in, my lower ticket, they're like, what's next? And you even said to me before we started, they're like, your clients are waiting for this. I was like, what are they waiting for? They don't even like me. And now I'm like, what?
And I want to go back and talk about your membership, because this is so we basically took your challenges and turned it into a high-end membership, which is so unheard of in this industry. And now you have, I don't know if the number is still set. Where are you at monthly with your membership?
65 members.
So what is that financially?
About I would say 125 each.
No. I mean, how many thousand, like, in reoccurring income per month?
Yeah. So 60.
Before it was 7.
At least like 8,000.
Okay, so now you're at 8,000 a month in your membership. So like this is so huge, because this is reoccurring income. And you listened to me around creating a high-end membership, because every other fitness coach on the block is out there at like $9.99, $19.99, and just keeps doing that because that's what they see everybody else doing. And that is a phenomenal model when you have like 200,000 followers. You know what I mean? When your engine is like really going, you have a reputation, like the whole marketing thing is really going. But if you try to, as like, if you come out the gates at $19.99 with no plan, like, how are you scaling that quickly? And like, my goal with you was like, okay, let's put this challenge thing to the side. It's really stressing you out. And also, we're not making enough money and income's going up and down. Let's create something that gives your clients like the transformation, takes, gives you time back, gives you space, and you make more money and they get great results. Like everybody's happy. And I mean, you scaled that. So we worked together for 4 months. When did you launch the membership?
Within a month of working with you.
How long did it take you to get to 65 women in it?
2 months.
So in 2 months, you scaled a new membership to $8,000 a month. Kat, this is like unheard of. This is amazing.
And here's the thing too, like the thing that you helped me with was defining my self-worth, right? And like, I think that I didn't realize what I was bringing to the table, and I needed someone to show me what I was bringing to the table, because yeah, I could do a $9.99 transformation thing, but no one would get results, especially during COVID, right? So everyone's already feeling isolated. So what I asked myself, what do people need the most? It's not even nutrition, and it's not even a fitness plan, it's community. And the only way I could get this going was really, really stress the community aspect of it and do workouts via Zoom where people could work out together. And you and I worked on this so much, but the main thing you taught me was my value and what I bring to the table. And I bring so much to the table because I actually care and I want my clients to see transformation. And you showed that to me. Mm-hmm. Right. You really showed that to me. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, sure, I could continue to just be like, oh, do this. But I really wanted to create a platform where people could change their whole entire lifestyle. Right. And it's like, some people need 3 months, some people need 6 months, some people need 2 years, and I don't know, just you helping me show my value and what I bring to the table completely shifted, because I didn't have a lot of self-worth before working with you in my business, right. And then I was looking at other people's platforms, like I want to be like them, and you showed me that too. Stop trying to be somebody else was so big for me, because I am different, like, and I don't know.
And that piece is huge. But I think where the rubber meets the road is because there's a lot of people doing self-worth, self-confidence work, and that is not translating to money in their business, right? So where the rubber meets the road is like, you also were very open to being very open. You were very open to how that was going to play out, and you actually like packaging and selling this at a much higher price tag than what is common in the industry that we are all used to, and filling it up, And so I'm curious, because so many women waste so much time like questioning certain strategies and this, that, and the other. And I think that part of your success is like, I would tell you something and you would fucking run.
Yeah.
It was literally like over, I'd be like, okay, do this. And you're like, cool. And like next day done, like you would move so fast. And
well, you guys, it's like, I tell people this all the time, like, so many women signed up for my platform. I'm like, I'm the expert here. Just listen to me, follow my lead. And like, I could put my ego and be like, I'm not stupid in business by any means. And no, but I signed up to you because you are the expert here. Like, I'm going to take out whatever the hell I think works, and I'm just going to know. And I had to put my mindset that way, or I wouldn't have seen results. Because here's the thing, when you are in your business, you are so emotional. Like, I couldn't figure out any strategy for myself at this time. I was losing it. I just moved to a third world country. I just got sober. Like, my retreats are canceled. My income's going down. Then it's going up. I'm nuts. I'm like, and why would I not want to listen to the person that I hire? Like I said to myself, whatever Jocelyn tells me to do, I'm going to do it. Because if I don't, and it doesn't work, I'm going to have regret. And I think that's where so many people mess up, especially coming to like, even training with me. I'm like, I told you to do this, like, for a reason,
And the thing is, and it's not like, it isn't even cookie cutter. Like you are someone where I was like, we need a membership now because we needed to transition your challenge before we moved into higher ticket. Someone else I would start with higher ticket. So it's also like, I really love that you just trusted my ability to see you and know, because without fail, the women that I see get the best results and the most sustained results. Just listen to what I say and go. Like, and I'm not telling you, it's not like, okay, all three of you move in order, we're all robots. It's not like that. But I just really, like, as a coach, was like, hell yes, she's gonna kill it, because she's just showing up and listening and doing the things. And actually, when you just like go with the program, you know what I mean? It's so much less complicated.
Well, I mean, you just said the biggest reason why I picked you. So if you look at the way Jocelyn does her immersions and things compared to other coaches is massively different. So many coaches are out there right now. Everyone's a freaking coach, and that's great. That's awesome. I'm so stoked for that. But like, you compared to someone you buy, let's say you sign up for someone who it's like a module, all right, and you log in and you have these video courses. I knew that if I would pay half the amount of money and do this, it's not going to translate into my business because every business is different, right? So if you just listen to what Jocelyn said, where it's like, okay, Kat needed to do this, this, then this. Well, Sarah down the street needed to do this, this, and this. Now, if I buy a course that's online, that's like, not $9.99 or $99 or $1,000, doesn't matter. This video module isn't going to give me enough information about what to actually do and execute in my business. Now, if you do Jocelyn, what's included? First off, you get Jocelyn on the community calls, where is so important to me, because when Jocelyn is helping this other woman, I can relate and listen and put into my business too. So that's why I always say community is so important. But like, and then as well, like, she's giving me tips for my business personally. It's a lot different than just buying a damn course online. And I knew that.
I always tell everyone, please, ladies, if you're listening, do not try to scale your business without having live coaching. Not like, yes, like I have Money Queen, you can work on just your money stuff, etc. But for actually like building, scaling your business, you need live time. And I think something else that's different about my container too is it's not just like, okay, let's jump on, and there is structure and strategy. So you have a place, like, what to do next. It's not just like, okay, like we just chat once a week and what's happening. Like there is the recorded content for the strategy, so you know what to bring to the table, and then we edit it for you. But also, like, how is it having the resources of a copywriting expert, a healer, brand work? Like, there's other women too who are experts in their craft, teaching things that like I know, or obviously I'm there the most. I'm live every single week, right? But I really believe in like bringing in other talent, where just to like, because I know what it takes to build a multiple six-figure brand. You've got to kill it in a lot of areas to do that consistently. So I bring in people who have like very specific skill sets, so that like you guys can really like hone in on that, right? So that I can keep my time with you on like strategy, what's going on with you energetically, money. Like I'm definitely the packaging expert, like do it like this, let's not do this is how it's going to sell, sales, like all that stuff is me. But for specifically like copywriting, brand work, and the healing work, because it can be like an emotional journey. Like, what was your experience there?
Well,
and also with just having like recorded content and that mix of like live coaching that we have.
Yeah, so first off, too, the reason I did choose a more expensive coach as you is because time is money to me too. So like, I could have bought a ton of mini courses, probably end up spending the same amount of damn money and got nowhere. And I said, well, first off, you made me a bit uncomfortable at the beginning, like in a good way, in an absolutely fucking good way. Like excuse my language, but I'm not going to sign up for someone who's like, good job, honey.
I know. I hate that shit.
Like, no, I want you to make me so uncomfortable. And you did in a good, awesome way. You're like, go live. I'm like, what? Go live. I'm like, I'm so scared. And I did it, you know? But first, the thing that was blocking me, and I always say this, you cannot be successful if you are blocked by limiting beliefs and money stories. So I had a ton of money stories, you know. I grew up in a house where money was thought about all the time. And I remember doing the money story with you. I remember I messaged you and I was like mind blown. Like, you know, I found my dad homeless, and it really created this story that, you know, you can have money and then you can lose it. And if you lose it, then you die. And like, because my father passed away. And then I also, you know, was in Vegas working and sex work, things like that. And like, I saw a lot of rich people that had money, and then they were unhappy. So my money story was everywhere. I was like, money just is wrong. It's bad. Money is bad. I don't want to deal with it. And we worked on that together, and that completely shifted my business and the stories around money. And then once we got into the actual product, the copywriting really shifted for me as well. I always was just trying to sell the product. And for you, you helped me solve a problem. Like, I was selling a problem I was solving, which is so different. Like, if I'm selling a product, people are like, I don't want to buy this product. If I'm selling a problem that I'm solving for you, that's when it shifted for me. So the copy was, you helped me so much with the copy, the branding, how I laid out my high ticket. I mean, it was so seamless, dude. Like, it was like easy breezy. I'm like, it's like, do this. Okay, I did this. She's like, now go sell. And I was like, okay. And I sold 6 in literally 2 days.
Totally. And there was, I don't know if you remember now because it was a while ago, but we do also talk a lot about selling and how to sell and how to actually, like, I think this step that often gets skipped in a lot of coaching is they're like, just speak from the heart. And I'm like, that's not enough to make money, right? So we have to, like, emotional resonance does not equal money in the bank just automatically, right? There's a lot of people with like fantastic vanity metrics who don't make money. So it's like, for me, what's really important is that women learn how to message in a way that converts, that you learn how to show up on video in a way that converts, right? Like, we're all about magnetism and bringing clients to us. We don't need to chase anyone. We don't need to chase anything in life. And so what was it like for you actually learning how to like write and like be on video and do all these things in a way that's authentic to you and also helps your business grow?
I mean, I was terrified to go on video, and I really had negative energy around writing, and I always felt really insecure about my writing, and I always felt really insecure about showing my face, and I had a ton of insecurities around public speaking.
Yeah.
Well, I failed all my writing classes and public speaking. So, I mean, moving into this, I really needed to get rid of this fear. And you just really guided me and supported me and reminded me that it is really truly progress over perfection. And I really needed to hear that, because I am someone who's like, I want to get it on day one. And that really, really helped me. And you gave me the outline of how to write my posts. Like, here's the thing, you know, when you have a coach, they're like, you know, do your Instagram post like this. I mean, just that information shifted everything for me. Or show up on your lives like this. Dun, dun, dun. Like, I needed to see that. And I did exactly what you said. And I grounded myself before going live. And I said, this might not be perfect, but I'm just going to keep moving forward. But I needed the support, right? So the community is what supported and guided me through this, because the other women that were in the container were also doing the same thing, right? So they were also going live for their first time too. So it was like, oh, we got this, girl. And that sisterhood was what I needed, because then I would have probably just gave up. But I really needed that outline of how to show up live what's the outline of showing up live? What is the outline for your Instagram post? What is the outline for your email marketing? Because I couldn't see that. Nothing was converting for me because I was just like, I'm writing this, but, and then I switched it. How can I be of service to women and use my words for them to hit like certain pain points and things like that? And that's when it shifted for me. But it was all progress over perfection. I mean, like, I can't even believe who I am right now in my business. And
and it's interesting because it's like you learn a structure and then you adjust it, right? Like we're not robots. So it's not like every single time I do exact this thing, but you learn like the foundational things. And I know like it doesn't even matter if you're an early entrepreneur or later. I've received plenty of women. You're not an early entrepreneur. You've been in business for years. Like who made money but never learned some of these things, and then like don't know how to adjust them, because it's like I'm always trying to say like nothing's black and white, right? Like I teach you a structure so that you actually understand, so that when you adopt it, you know why you're doing. Like my biggest thing is why. So many people are moving in their business and they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They're just like throwing shit against the wall, or like they, like you said, bought some cheapy thing online, or like doing what they said, right? And it's like, it's so interesting to me because I'm like, strategy isn't actually that complicated when you learn it from someone who also knows what they're doing and likes it to be uncomplicated, which is me, right? Like right. There's nothing about what you were doing that was like way overly complicated. We just had to get like all the bricks stacked to actually make sense. And then, you know, you did like, was it 10,000 in 2 weeks, and now your immersion is sold out?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have your 7K a month in your membership. And then I think, didn't you message me and say now you have 12K a month in payment plans over the next 3 months?
I mean, it's so, yeah, I mean, right now, because I did some payment plans for the immersion, like I'm making, it looked in the last 30 days, I've made $14,000.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wasn't so painful. Like, that's the thing. Like, exactly what you just said is why I feel good in my business, is because it doesn't have to be painful. And you showed me that. It doesn't have to be grinding my teeth, frustrated, confused. As long as you have someone who supports you in a community, which is you in the community, like, it doesn't have to be that way. And so many.
It's also the way too that I'm teaching, because there's a lot of group business coaching, and you, unfortunately for you, have not been exposed to shitty group business coaching. However, I've received other clients who have, so I'm like, community's part of it, babe, but there's like a lot more going on.
Correct. And everything that there is not one, you did not miss a beat. Let me just say. And I am a businesswoman, and I mean, I see coaches out there all the time, like, what is going on? And you did not miss a beat. Like, there is not one thing that I could say that's like, she should have done this, or I wish she would have done that. Like, you did not miss a beat. And it was perfect. Like, I felt like it was step by step. You cleared the blocks around money. Okay, let's ease into the next thing. You know me, I'm 100 miles an hour. I'm like, let's fucking go. And you're like, just one thing at a time. And it was exactly what I needed to get there. And here's the thing, the difference between me and some other women that might sign up is, you know, a lot of people wait to execute. And like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to wait. And exactly what you told me to do, I executed. And then I went to the next thing. And that same goes with business. Like, you give me the strategy, I execute, I see how it performs, I execute again. And so many people are like, they don't execute because they think that it's not going to go well, and then they just get nothing done.
Right.
You know, we all make mistakes.
And aren't open to the pivot. So they'll do something but didn't quite do it all the way. And then like nothing happened. I'm like, yeah, because we're missing like this part. That's why. And you need to like pivot it like now, not like in a month, if we want to get the results now. Right. And like I do have to give you so much credit for like moving so fast. And also, the community part is so important. I just want to make sure all the women here listening tonight understand that like community alone is not what takes you there. As much as I love community, we've got to be doing, like, business is multidimensional. We've got to have like all the things going on.
Right. And that's why I hired you, is because you have business strategy. Here's the thing, you guys. You can hire a money coach, but if the person doesn't know business, your business is not going to go anywhere. Great. Spirituality is amazing. Here's the thing. We're on earth though. We live on earth and money is what we need to live. So yes, you can do all these money things and all that, but if you don't have strategy in your business, it's not going anywhere. And this is what I'm saying, why the difference of Jocelyn and the difference with these like money manifesting coaches, like you have to have strategy in your business. Or
And
it's
then
not
we add spirituality and intuition and all the things on top of it. But building that foundation, like for you to get to, okay, 8K a month, reoccurring, you're doing about 14K a month now. And also you're just getting started. We've only like, if this is the whole pie, we caught you covered in these two places. So now you have room to do so much more so that 20, 30, et cetera, can be normal without you being confused on how to do it and like going into some crazy overdrive, let me wing it and go put out all this random stuff, etc. Like now
that's what I was kind of doing when I started too. I was just all over the place. I was all over the place. And you know, of course, obviously the woman I am, I want to jump and I want to be at 30K or 40K a month, but there's steps that take to get there.
You want it to be on a foundation so it's not going up and down, right? And so that's what I'm really passionate about. And also for the women watching, if you ladies have questions, like, I have to look on my phone. Oh, geez, because we're on Zoom. What's happening? Okay, let me know if you have questions. Courtney says she needs to move now. Yeah, babe. So you haven't met Courtney. But I am also very passionate about the women in the container because I was in a high-end group container that had weird, snaky female stuff going on. And I was like, I am not going to be rolling like that in my business. And so something that is really important to me is that the sisterhood be really healthy and strong and supportive with nothing weird happening. And you mentioned your background. A lot of women have sisterhood wounding, mother wounding, etc. So back to the community part, which you did originally bring up. And for the women watching, guys, now I can see the questions. So drop your questions if you have them and we'll answer them. Like, how was that part for you? Because we can get kind of like nervous and weird being in containers with other women, even, you know, just about being seen and talking about money and talking about how much money we're making and being more vulnerable. And you'd never done it before either, not in this context. So how was that?
I mean, like I said before, coming into this this container, I had a lot of fear around scarcity and things like that. It was hard using my voice, expressing what I'm feeling. Even though I'm a coach, like I listen to women all day, but like for me to express how I'm feeling was hard for me.
Yeah.
And I felt safe day one. Like I don't know how to express, like the second that I got on those calls, I immediately felt safe. And the women are so supportive. I mean, I'm going live with a lot of those women. And I even included one of those women in my container, you know, and I needed to see this. We're not competing against, and we're all coaches too, right? So I needed to be in that container to see that we are not competing with each other, and you supported us in thinking that way. It wasn't like, oh, here you guys go. You really addressed this, and it needed to be addressed. It needs to be addressed everywhere, I think.
Right.
But
it's like, I'm very into tunnel vision. Like, do your thing. Don't look at what other people are pricing, charging. Like, I promise you, if you nail your packaging so that people understand the value and your messaging and your voice and video and all these things, and we're adding the spirituality and the intuition, right? So we can like increase your energetic magnetism, you will sell.
Right. And I think too, like, I mean, because I do a lot of community stuff in my containers too. Yeah. It's when you get into a call and you're confused, you're frustrated, you're already like, you know, going through all your business stuff. But then let's say I hear Elise in the container talk about her story, and then I'm like, oh, that's me too. And then you help her, and then it helps me. Because sometimes we don't realize what's going on unless we hear it coming out of someone else's mouth.
So I don't know, I don't remember you expressing this concern to me when we had our call, but did you have, because this can come up for people too, did you have any worries about, sometimes people want to, they're worried about the amount of attention they're going to receive. And so they'll be like, oh, well, I need one-on-one. And it's actually interesting to me because I feel that women who are newer in their business actually do better in a group because there's more support and more class time and more going on than when you're just one-on-one, which that works very well just depending on where you're at in your business. But did you have any like qualms about that? Were you worried about like making sure you were going to feel supported, or did you already kind of?
I just knew that this was right for me. It was a fuck yes for me. And when I signed up, I knew that the way, I mean, you have so many results, you know, and I mean, you have results. Like, if you want to hire a coach, go see if they have results. Like, you know, great if they're pretty and they look good. If they're not showing you, if they're not showing you their income and their client's income, there's something wrong.
I have a lot of weird feelings about business coaches who will not talk about how much money they make.
That doesn't make sense.
Why
I'm sorry.
Business coach.
It doesn't make sense. It's like me not having a good body. Like, you know, so no, I felt right away safe. I felt there was so much going on, but like good stuff. I mean, you bringing other females into the container to like help us energetically was so awesome. The person, you know,
talk about the healing part because this is different for business coaching, right? And I'm looking at these questions. Okay, now I'm gonna answer your question now. And thank you, Andrea. The vibe you create is phenomenal. Sorry, ladies, I have to look down at my phone because we're on Zoom. I can't see. It's like a whole, there's lots of technology happening. Okay, so how was like the healing for you? You had your Akashic business reading and clearing, and you know, I love like, ladies, we add the witchy stuff. Like, I'm here for it. I just want to make sure it's added on top of like strategy and structure because that's like really how we start flying versus doing all of one or all of the other.
And even if you're coming into Jocelyn's container and you're not like in the witchy stuff, just change your mindset about it and just have an open mind and just like do it, and because it changes you. And it was everything I needed to start because again, I came into Jocelyn's container with so much anxiety and so much fear and so much perfectionism and so many stories around money. And I honestly almost gave up my purpose. I was like, I'm just gonna go get a full-time job. Fuck this. And the healing part was amazing. So the money clearing again was everything I needed to move forward. And then when you had your healer come in and we did a sessions together, it just set the tone for my journey. It really did. She did a lot of clearing with my past lives. And it was so funny when we did my past lives. I was like, wow, that's really how I'm feeling now, you know, being in that victim state. And I had put myself in there a lot. I had a really crappy childhood. And then I carry a set, oh, poor me, I can't make money because of this. And I needed to get rid of that to move forward.
This is so important. This victim mindset keeps a lot of women trapped. Oh, this is going on in the world, so I can't do this. Oh, this is happening, so I can't do this. Oh, it's so hard. Like, so many stories. And like, it's the number one thing that I see between like, it's like breaking that will change your life because you just learn to like take risks and go for things, but we don't often realize when we're doing it until we've like learned to identify in ourselves and stop. And so what shifted for you? Because now I feel like you don't carry any of that at all versus kind of like where you started. So what was the shift? And no judgment, ladies, if you've got it. I'm just saying like, we want to move to clear it so we can rise because it's a really important piece to drop so we can move forward. So like what shifted for you? And you had a complicated past, like for real, you know, you weren't being like a prima donna. This was real. So what shifted for you in terms of like operating from that place versus operating like from your queen or from a very empowered place?
I think just when I first got in, I was operating a place of fear and a lot of a place of victim and creating stories for me to not move forward or try new things. And I wasn't even conscious of it. Again, a lot of people aren't even conscious of the stuff until it's put in front of their face to do the work. And then once you had me do this work, I started grounding myself in my business. And what that means is like I wake up, I'm sprinting out of bed. I'm absolutely insane. It's how I work. And I needed to get grounded and do one thing at a time and calm down and not freak out and create these stories in my head or, like, I can't make this money because of this, because of Corona, because, my family did this to me. And I really needed to get rid of that stuff so I could move forward. And that's exactly what you did. Like, I can't stress this enough. I have so many people that come up to me and my clients. They're like, who are you? Like, who are you? And obviously, I'm doing a ton of work, outside of the cohort, but this container is what shifted my business. There is nothing outside. It wasn't an Instagram post. It wasn't a course that I found online. Jocelyn in the community and the strategies is what shifted me in my business. Like, I have done a complete 180. Like, it's mind blowing.
I love it. You became your queen. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So Nat is saying, clearly your first step is moving past vulnerability. Any advice on how to do that in order to jump in? So babe, being vulnerable to who? I mean, well, this goes back to, a lot of women have a fear of being seen. So that could be,
wow, yeah.
Nat, if you want to add to that, feel free.
But for me, I have a really messed up story. Like, I was in escorting. I, lived in Vegas. I, have a lot of sex. Drugs. I'm a sober woman now. I'm an alcoholic. I was addicted to drugs. And, I had such a fear of sharing this. I had such a fear of sharing this stuff because I didn't want anyone to judge me. And now I'm like, this is me. And more clients are coming to me. Be more vulnerable. Tell your story, stand strong in your story and say, this is what happened to me. This is what I overcame. And clients will come to you because, like, this woman is so strong. And the ones who don't, it's okay. It's okay.
Authentic, like, we are just in a world where, like, so much has blown up in so many people's faces. Everyone is looking for, like, intimacy and places that they can trust. Okay. Nobody can pay you if they can't feel you, right? Not going to happen. I'm sorry. You're not going to make a lot of money and sustain it if your audience cannot actually, like, feel your soul. So, and I don't mean, because sometimes women get confused and they think vulnerability, we're not just doing, like, emotional spewing, right? That is not it's not Dear Diary. We're still doing this, like, within the context of business. Again, come into the course, we can talk about how to do it so it actually serves you instead of you, like, bleeding out all over everybody. Because, like, your audience is also not, like, your, a replacement for therapy. Like, you need to actually empower them too. But this being seen piece is scary. And I'll say, like, as intuitive women, well, first of all, women were just so conditioned to be obedient, to be quiet, go along to get along. And so naturally, just rising in your power and using your voice, you feel like you're doing something wrong because of how most often we're programmed by our family, by society, etc. So even though it's good for you, there's just this natural, like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, until you just go do it, right? And nothing happens. Everybody loves you for it. Like, the only feedback, no one is going to be who you actually want in your field. I can't imagine why you'd be criticized for being vulnerable, because people feel your authenticity. So if you guys are afraid, where you see people getting, like, taken down online and stuff, a lot of the time what is happening is there's a lack of authenticity in what they are saying, which people pick up on. Outside of, like, trolls, some people just like to be crazy, right? But, like, trolls aside, people can, like, pick up on authenticity, and they know what's real and they know what's not real, even if they don't, like, process it that way. So when you're speaking from your soul and you're telling your truth and it is the truth, they're going to feel it. They're going to like it. Like, it's just so important. And also, it's just so important to remember, like, as a woman on the planet, for all the other women around you, if you have kids, like, for your daughters, for everyone, like, fucking shine. Do you really want to communicate that we need to be, like, toned down and well behaved and having our eating disorders and suffering in silence and like hoping we're chosen. Like, fuck that shit. Call the life that you want in. And if we refuse to be big, and I don't mean big, like I know I'm super fiery and like loud and all the things, it doesn't have to look like my version, but it's like big for you, right? Which is not like, I always say, because I think women get confused sometimes that like it means this certain thing, but like, I don't know, you could be a Scorpio and your vibe's way more like mystical and seductive. And like, we all have a different vibe, but it's like being true to you is never going to like hurt your life. It's only going to enhance it. So
Well,
not
I mean,
being
especially if you're a coach too, right? Like that's why I picked you, was because you are authentic. Like I have a lot of stuff I've been through, you know, and I want to choose a coach that's also been through things because, you know, you overcame it. It's a lot different than me just signing up for someone who, I always say this, okay, I'm going to go get a therapist that, you know, read a textbook. Like, no, I need a therapist or coach that's been through the damn trenches, because and I can't see that unless they're sharing it. And I completely shifted this when I got into your container. It's like I need to share my story and my truth and be authentic, because that's when I can be of service to more people.
Literally. I mean, I think that on the path I was on, that I wound up destroying myself. And again, ladies, please, we don't need to break down and break through. We learn to do better and we learn to build instead of always falling down, getting back up, falling down, getting back up. But before I knew any of these things, and it was part of my journey, and I really think that a lot of it was that I could like relate to my clients and be like, I get it. And now let's go here. Also, I'm very intuitive. So even things I haven't been through, like eyesight, you know, I understand. But yeah, it's very important. And so to me, it's like, and why I honestly just love my own work is like, yeah, I do have 15 years of experience in sales and marketing, and I've been through a lot of shit and put myself through a lot of shit, right? And destroyed myself and come back and all the things, right? And then I'm also believe in the witchy stuff. And it's like, I just love, I don't know, it's like just the richness of life and being able to bring that into your business makes me so excited to like have a business. And I think that like what most people create for themselves in their business is so small by comparison to what's available, and why the clients who really like go for gold with how I teach get such strong results is I also teach you how to like create within your business in a way where people are like, fuck yes, I want that. So it's not just like this boring basic bullshit. Because it's like people will hear high ticket and be like, oh my God, I'm just supposed to charge $1,000, you know, $10,000 for everything. It's like, no, you got to give your client something that is like super juicy and life changing, which is what you're doing. And then as you see, people are happy to pay for it because they're going to get.
So many women think that like there's too many coaches I can't coach. And everyone brings something different to the table. So the clients that are going to Jocelyn are different than the clients that are coming to me. And there's just so much to go around. But the only way you are going to get clients is if you are in your true, authentic self. That's it. And so whatever your authentic self brings to the table and your purpose, which you find through Jocelyn, like let's say you want to be a coach, you sign up for Jocelyn's container. The tools are there to give you to find what is for you, right? And your purpose for you.
Well, you didn't know that you were going to be doing this confidence immersion. And you had
What? Dude, I had no idea. And like my confidence immersion is something I've been wanting to do for, I think deep down inside for a long, long time. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not good enough yet. No one's going to sign up yet. And like, it happened.
Not true. 11 people. Okay, so not saying I'm being seen, being open to criticism, and being open to sharing. Okay, babe, you do not need to be available for people critiquing you. In your business, like nobody, I don't ask anyone about my business except the people that I pay to help me. I've gone through this with other clients. Your friends don't fucking get to have input. Your family does not get to have input. You are not like up for an evaluation. This is what we call boundaries. And boundaries
yeah, that's also
so important.
Yeah, codependency too. It's
And
like I'm gonna do
codependency.
this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this because I want this person to approve me. And what happens is when you get too many opinions, you don't even know what to do. And you're asking the wrong people. Ask the experts, which is Jocelyn. Like that's the purpose. Like I was asking so many people, but I was like asking people who've never even been in fitness and know nothing about the fitness industry because I wanted to get their validation. And that's also what we go through in the cohort. Is like stop with these boundaries and like needing people to approve of you or you're getting nowhere.
Nowhere. And also, ladies, let's remember how many people have been running their business based on this old patriarchal model of like grind, work around the clock, work out the time, grind some more. Most people are operating in that model. So you're not going to get great advice. So you're going to get exhausting advice. And most people don't believe, I call this exponential success, that success can be created that quickly. Imagine if I started my career telling people I'm going to do 50K within a year, I'm going to have a multiple six-figure year in my first year. Everyone would be like, are you sure? You know what I mean? You can't ask. You just have to decide, go get the help that you need and go. Because no one, unless they have like an exceptional mindset and belief in possibility, is going to give you good advice. So that's also why we get help and why we get coached to like take it to the next level, whether we're at the beginning of our career or maybe you're, further along, right? Like we're always receiving more support because trying to work in what most of this 3D world looks like and create quantum leap results for yourself in a sustainable way where you're not grinding and feel like you're going to die is not normal. That's why I say it's exceptional. It is exceptional.
Well, I mean, and I have to add that too, which you taught me in the cohort. It's like, you guys, I'm not making this money and working 40-hour weeks. Okay. I mean, I like to work a lot and I like to brainstorm and I'm a go-getter. And like, I spend my Sundays, like my Sunday days, it's like more about just like brainstorming and like doing research and having fun and like, but keeping it a part of my business. But there is no grind in my business at all right now. I have 5 employees now and we go by the light and breezy method. And it's because Jocelyn taught me this. There is no space to be confused. We always figure it out together, right? And old Cat, when I had employees, I was not the nicest. I was pretty, aggressive and frustrated. I'm like, why are you doing this? But like, it was because I wasn't delegating properly either. So I learned a lot of this also in this container is, how to have employees and things like that and keep it light and breezy. It doesn't have to be so. I say that every day. Keep it light and breezy, Kat. Keep it light and breezy. Everything is okay. I mean, because, I grew up in a home where like, if my fork wasn't placed properly, it wasn't good, right? Like, physical, emotional abuse. So like, if things aren't perfect for me, my first thought is like, oh, freak out. But the tool you gave me is to make me realize that like, you don't need to freak out and there's always a solution.
Well, hypervigilance is very common. So hypervigilance comes from, and I've had it too, having been on the receiving end of emotional and physical abuse as a child, you start to like, you're so attuned to other people that like, if a shoe is out of place, you notice, right? So it's a double-edged sword because there's a part of being like kind of a perfectionist that makes you set a high bar, right? And so perfectionists do tend to set high bars and hit them. However, what we got to calm down on is the like, oh my gosh, something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen if I'm not perfect, if it's not perfect, rather than like done is better than perfect. Keep going. What would I like to adjust? Okay, cool. Like it's great to set high bars, but not in a way that's like self-sabotaging. And sometimes we even don't know that we're hypervigilant and that's what we're doing or why.
I mean, that's exactly what you showed me too, is self-awareness. Like so many people are so disassociated in their business and in life altogether, and they're not even aware of the way they are moving and grooving. They're just like all over the place. And that was me. I was all over the place. And I needed to get grounded and see the way I work and how I show up and my strengths and, even my weaknesses and how I can use them to, benefit my business as well.
Yeah, get to share with other people. Like, we get to talk about things as we walk the walk. You know what I mean? We know. It's not like, oh, I read a book about it and here it is. Like, of course, we're always learning, but it really helps to have had like the life experience too. And now you feel more comfortable sharing yours, so your clients can also get deeper results. Okay, well, ladies, do you have any other questions? I don't think I see anything else. Let me know if you do. Okay, Nat, I think you're good. Okay, well, obviously, ladies, like, book a call. Let's do this. Do you see Kat's transformation? This did not take a long time. This was all within 4 months.
Yeah.
Spend years
Highly
getting this shit done.
And I mean, I honestly, like, I would be so honest. Like, I cannot believe, like, my life is mine and my business is mine and where I'm at. Like, complete transformation. Mind, body, soul, business, everything. And
well, how are you doing? Because we didn't talk about just on a personal level, how did it help you? So there's your business, and then just like how you're feeling every day.
I feel so good. I mean, and there's some days, obviously, we're females, hormones, things like that. Yeah. But I just, if something goes wrong, I usually laugh about it. Yeah. Like, for example, I sent out an email to like my member email to my whole subscriber list.
Yeah.
And old Cat would be like, oh my God, freak out. And I just started laughing. I was like, it's cool. And it passed. Everything passes. You gave me all these tools to not freak out. I'm loving my life. And I take time and I go to the beach. I'm living in Bali now. I'm living in Bali, making $14,000 a month. And I have time to go out with my friends. And while I'm out with my friends, I'm present, right? That's the thing before. Like, I would go out and be like, oh, I got to go home and get to work and do all this stuff and like figure this out. But life is light and breezy.
And how does it feel? Because I feel like this is such a good feeling when you haven't had it before, and then it starts. When you have like money coming in while you're sleeping and you wake up and you get your PayPal or your Stripe alerts and you're like, fuck yes.
I'm just like, wow. But what happens is once I get the money, I invest or, be of service somehow. And I'm not so freaking out and stressed. And so many women are like, they see 15 people making 15K a month and they're like, I don't believe them. That's impossible. They're probably dying to get there, like as in killing themselves. And it's not, because I thought that too. I was the same, but I
it's also, yeah, and it feels good, and it's just to know. And my point about like the money and the sleep thing is it shows you the degree to which the business is actually sustainable. Right. Otherwise, that's not happening.
And I'm not pulling teeth, and I'm not, I'm not chasing clients down. Sign up. And that's because I am showing up as my true authentic self, and people are just coming. Like people just
get really phenomenal results.
Yeah, I mean, my clients get amazing results, and they're not killing themselves and giving up everything they love to get there too, which is, I mean, I could go on for hours about the fitness industry and how it's like, they're like, oh, this magical method is for everyone. All of my clients in my membership have different protocols, every single one of them.
Well, it's like what I'm saying with this is like, there's certain things that work and they work, and then we adapt based on the person, right? So that
absolutely,
like, very effective for them.
And the person who signs up into your containers and in mine, they have to do the work to see what works for them too, right? 100%. So like, I can't tell you what, 60 some members, like, I don't know what you're doing when you wake up, but you have to start to do the work and start to understand how you move and groove and what works for you. Just like me in my business. Jocelyn tells me to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it and see what happens.
Sure, there were things you adapted. So that's so powerful. Okay, well, for any of the women too who would like to get in touch with you, I don't know if you have anything open right now, but feel free to share if you do. Ladies.
Yeah, they can just message me on Instagram, Sweat with Kat, K-A-T. That's probably always the easiest way to message me. My immersion sold out, so I'm not having that until January. I have some fitness things on my page, but yeah, I'm booked. Like, what?
your membership open right now or no?
Yeah, my membership's open right now. People can sign up for that, which is I have this upcoming 90-day challenge. So it's still the membership, but basically I'm telling the women like we got to amp it into gear for the final 90 days of this year, because a lot of people are like, in and out with their fitness because of, Corona and things like that. I just want them to kick it into gear, because what happens is so many women, they're like, I'm going to wait for next year to get fit. And then the holidays come and they have no protocols in place for the holidays. And literally women can gain 10 pounds, 15 pounds.
No, our bodies are so sensitive. It's the same thing with business. Like, you can't like wait to make money. You can't wait. Like nothing's happening in this waiting, ladies. Usually it gets more destructive while we're waiting for things to be safe or comfortable. Like it doesn't get better, it gets worse. So like,
well, think about it. I did all of this in 4 months with you, 3 months with you. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, if you can literally do this, if I can do this in 4 months, so can you. And same with changing your body. Like, why are you waiting to change your body? Like, oh, I'm going to spend 3 more months eating cupcakes and feeling like shit. Like, why? I don't get it. And people are like, oh, and we should probably say this before we go to, like, I don't have the money. Like, when people say that and they don't want to invest, but they're running around buying Gucci shoes and shit like that, or like adding, sweet green salads are $25 a pop, and you're having them once a week. Like, make a salad and invest in yourself. Like, I don't get it.
It's an excuse. You know what I mean? Because like when we want something bad enough, we come up with it. And also, ladies, this is why we have payment plans. So, like anyone that you want to work with, I have flexibility. Like obviously people are coming from different financial situations. Nobody's trying to like drain you out, right? And leave you on the floor. But at the same time, the women who fucking go for it and then show up for it get results. And you need to remember, there was someone who said something, I can't remember what it was. I was like, your investment isn't a sunk cost. You invest to get exponential results. That's what you do. And remember that like what you learn in this amount of time carries you forward for you to build off of forever. This isn't like, oh, we do this one little thing and it cost me this much and now it's done. It's like, oh, I actually know how to build and scale a multiple six-figure business. This information doesn't go away. You then go build and you build and you build on top of it. And this is why I get so excited when I see you guys like continuing to make more and more money, even when you're done with me, because I'm like, yes, like they're getting it, that you
right.
get to
and that goes with, your body too. You spend $350 for a 90-day thing, or, a confidence immersion for $1,500. Like, you're changing your life. Like, you're completely changing your life. And serenity and peace. And I always say the universe does not want us to be miserable. And here's the thing. So many women, their baselines are so low. They're like, I wake up and one person smiles at me. That's a good day. No, your days are supposed to be exciting, filled with joy, a lot of laughter. Your business is supposed to be light and breezy. You're supposed to feel confident in your body and your skin. That is the way the universe wants you to be. Exactly. And
changing the baseline is huge. I always talk about that. And like what you think normal is not healthy most of the time.
No, I mean, if I wake up with anxiety in my business or personally, something's not right.
Yeah. Not like
I used to have so much anxiety and I was like, oh, well, this is just how life's supposed to be for me. I'm supposed to be fucking miserable. And you're not.
No. Okay.
Even during a pandemic, you're not supposed to be miserable.
Correct. It's just an extra little challenge for you to step up and like, let's go. Everything is available. It's like, I'm just so happy that you had this experience. Obviously, I love you. I love the work you're doing. And it's just like the transformation of a woman in her bank account and her business and her bliss is like what I'm here for. So ladies, get on the calendar so we can chat about your business. You know how to get in touch with Kat. So with Kat, it sounds like her challenge is open. It's only open for one more day, right?
It's only open for one more day, but I mean, I'm sure it's okay if we have some extras like floating around. But if anyone like even has questions and like wants to ask me about Jocelyn's container, just shoot me a message. Like, I'm all for it. I want women to be successful because if you're successful, then you're opening up other women to feel it's bigger than us. It's bigger than me and Jocelyn. Like it just spreads. Like when one more person feels good in their body and their business, like the next woman can feel. It's a world. It's a universe thing,
It's
you know.
yeah.
And she's the one, dude. She's the one.
Thank you, Queen Bee. Okay, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Oh my goodness, we're in an hour and 15 minutes. Thank you, Kat, so much for sharing with us. Congratulations. Obviously, ladies, message me if you have questions. Get on my calendar. The link is above in the live. Get in touch with Kat. Her Instagram handle is Sweat with Kat. If you have any questions for her about her work or the DL on like being in the container. And I love you so much. And Kat, have a beautiful day. I'm so jealous that you get sun.
I love you. Thank you so much for everything. Oh, I am just so grateful for this experience and you. And I'm just so grateful that the universe put us together.
Yay! Ladies on the rise. Okay.
Happy birthday. Bye.